What I would do if I had high blood pressure is I would lower fats. I would make sure there's no milk, cheese, butter, and eggs in there. If you're eating animal protein, only eat it once a day. If you're eating plant fats like avocado, nut seeds, nut butters, nut milks, lower them. I would lower them so your blood isn't so thick and stagnant and the liver gets a break. And then you start healing the liver and then blood pressure problems that are mysterious go away. When we eat fats in the morning, like peanut butter, almond butter, coconut oil, or bacon in the morning, right? Or eggs in the morning, or milk, cheese, butter, all of that fat stops your liver from cleansing. So it stops your liver from dumping out the trash. It stops your liver from removing the toxins and poisons that actually keep us down as we get older and older and older. The unwanted pounds come on, the weight comes on really easy. That happens because the liver gets maxed out. It's all about keeping your fats low. If your fats are too high, then your immune system's going to struggle. If your blood fat's high all the time, you're eating too much avocado, nuts and seeds, almond butter, peanut butter, chicken, meat, fish, whatever it is, oils, whatever you're doing, if you're eating too much of that and you're not eating enough leafy greens are critical. If you're not doing, enough of that, wild foods, are you doing any wild foods? And so it's all this stuff. Medical Medium Information has all that information and talks about that. It's what it's always been. So yeah. A lot of people worried about the heart these days. They worry, but they're eating all kinds of things that could play a role in affecting their heart. So let's talk about that a little bit. So here's how it works. Yeah, the more fat we eat, the more difficult time the heart has as we get older. I know that's tough to hear because you hear fat's good for us. We need fat. Everybody should be eating lots of fat. Well, basically, that's just permission to get a sick heart down the road. So here's how it works. Your liver is the start of your heart problem. So anybody's heart problem starts in the liver. Regardless of what it is in the heart, it starts from the liver, unless someone comes into this life, they're born with a heart condition right off the running. But if they've lived their life, everything's been going good, they get older and they get a heart condition, it starts from the liver. So here's how it works. Your liver's the filter. Your heart's the pump. Your heart's pumping blood. That blood's being sucked through the liver. So it's like a fish tank. You got a filter inside the fish tank. The filter is sitting there filtering all the water inside the fish tank. Your heart, right? That's what it's doing. It's pumping, pumping, pumping. You got the filter right here. And you're filtering all your blood. So as years go on, toxins and different kinds of poisons from air fresheners, colognes, perfumes, from pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, to everything that we're up against these days gets filtered into the liver, including pathogens. So little bugs too get into the liver, bacteria, viruses, different pathogens. But here's the other thing. As we're eating fat every day, because everybody's diet is comprised of mostly fat, no one believes that. They don't think so, but there's fat in everything you're eating and lots of overt fats, whether they're plant-based, they're doing nut butters, they're doing oils, whether they're animal protein, they're doing steak, whatever it is, even if they're putting butter in their coffee, even if they have dairy, that's fat right there. So as the fat goes on, even if it's a hot dog once in a while or a pizza, whatever it is, as they're bringing in all that fat inside their diet, inside their bloodstream, it goes into the liver. And what happens is that fat thickens the blood. So the heart has to pump really, really, really hard. So it has to do a lot of pumping. And when it does all that pumping, it puts pressure and stress on the heart as the years go by, so it starts to weaken the heart. Another thing happens with all that fat buildup in your bloodstream is it starts to collect. Yeah, even healthy fats will start to collect on the inside of the arteries and veins. So that's another thing that happens too. So over time, the liver gets congested. We get the fatty liver. Even though we weren't diagnosed with a fatty liver, we still get a fatty liver. We get fat buildup in the arteries and veins, and the heart is pumping harder and harder, and we end up with high blood pressure. So that's another thing too. We end up with high blood pressure. And that high blood pressure is an indication that we got a buildup, even if the doctor can't see it. If the cardiologist can't see the buildup, it doesn't mean it's not there, because it's there. It's in the liver, and it's in the arteries and veins. And so now the heart is working harder and harder to pump blood every day. So the filter's clogged right here over time. There's lots of fats in the bloodstream. The arteries and veins have fat clinging to the walls of it, and the heart's trying to suck the blood, and the heart goes under more stress and more stress. And that's how we end up getting heart problems. It's the basis, the fundamental, bottom of the barrel basis of how we have heart problems. There's other issues too that happen to the heart that are pathogen caused and other issues like that. But mainly we end up maxing out the liver. We end up maxing out the arteries and veins, filling up with fat. We end up filling up the bloodstream with fat chronically. And we just have this pump that's working overtime and overtime. And we end up with a high blood pressure issue or some other kind of heart condition.